Hello everybody, my name is Tactical Legos. You probably don't know this, but about a year ago, I had another account where I mostly drove RC tanks, along with a few other things, and that account was wrongly terminated for hate speech. Last night, however, I regained access to that account. One of my final attempts at an appeal was accepted, and my account was reinstated. So, I will have a link in the comments and in the description linking to my old account. I hope you will join me there because that is where I'm going to be mainly posting from now on. Now that I've got the main point across, I'm gonna kind of just rant. I mean, not really a rant, but just kind of spew a little bit about what all went down, just so that everybody knows. You know, I'm not really gonna have any like what you call it, crap, I can't think of the word. This is just going to even prove my point once I do think of the word. I don't have a script. As you can probably tell, this is all just improvised. Because, I mean, I don't do scripts. I never have. But anyways, we'll just get into the meat of this discussion. Like I said before, I had previously an account also called Tactical Legos. And like I said, I drove mostly RC tanks on that account. And in front of us, we've got a few of them. We'll talk more about the specifics of the couple I've got in front of me later. But what ended up happening was eventually some of the videos with this tank here, which these are all made by Hanglong, which, let me scoot these back just a little bit so we can get this in frame better. These are all made by Hanglong. And this one in specific is the German Tiger II. And this is a World War II era tank. And sometimes people will refer to it as the King Tiger, which is the literal translation of the German name Koenigstiger. I probably pronounced that very wrong. Or like Koenigstiger or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, it's the English translation of the German name for this tank. And I'll get a bit more into that later because I have a feeling that has something to do with why these videos and then subsequently the channel was terminated. But anyways, I posted various videos of this, which you probably have not seen on this channel because I only posted one video of this just to test the waters a bit ago to see if they would remove that one too. And I didn't post any more after that out of fear of losing the channel that you're watching this video on now, like I had previously lost my old channel. But they started to flag and remove pretty much any and every video that I had uploaded with this tank in it. Now, at the time, I had probably posted about 3, maybe 2 or 3 longer form videos of this tank and probably about 15 or 20 shorts with this tank featured in it. And if I had to say, probably more than half, probably about 3/4 of those all got removed. And the weirdest thing about it was they never gave me a strike for it. It was always, we're just going to give you a warning this time. We're just going to give you a warning this time. We're just going to give you a warning this time. And the reason that all these videos were removed was for hate speech. Now, I don't know about you, but I've looked a little bit into what YouTube considers hate speech, and what I consider hate speech, and what the general public considers hate speech. And to me, a scale model remote control tank driving up a small dirt pile with no commentary, no hate symbols. There's not even a swastika anywhere on any of my tanks, even though I honestly feel like that, for realism, is not hate speech either, but that's a topic I'll get into a little bit later in this video. Of course, I'm not saying that, you know, you should display it with pride. It's just for realism, for the model's sake, and honestly, I don't necessarily feel that it's needed in some cases. I'll get more into the cases that I feel like it does take away from models to remove it. Well, I guess I'll just, now that I've said that, I'll just go ahead and say it. The Bf-109 and some of the German aircraft, for me, they just do not look the same without the tail markings. And you'll know what I mean if you are into German aircraft. They have a swastika on the tail, of course. And it's not really that I like what that symbol stood for, but that is how that plane looked. And to me, they just look weird and kind of off if you don't have all of those details. Not that they can't be good models without them, because I have plenty of models that are lacking them, and I don't really intend to put them on there. But they do kind of look strange sometimes compared to their real-life counterparts. But anyways, they continued removing my videos featuring these tanks. Not these tanks, just this tank, which I will get into later. This is another German tank sitting behind it, the gray one. That is a Hanglong Stug 3. This is an American M4A3 105mm Sherman, if you did not know. That is a Stug 3G. I think I didn't say the G part. But anyways, that's an American tank. That's a German tank. None of those two got flagged. And you may be thinking, well, it could be because of this Iron Cross here. And I thought maybe so too. But if we spin this one around, you'll see there's an Iron Cross there. It might be a bit hard to see. It'll be easier to see on the other side if I can flip this around without destroying everything. Good Lord. There we go. You can see it peeking out right there. There is also an Iron Cross on there. And that is also not a Nazi or a hate symbol. That is a very old German military marking that has been around since, I think, the 1800s. I'm not too familiar with it, but I know it's not a Nazi symbol. A lot of people do think of it as associated with Nazi Germany, but it's just the Iron Cross. It's still in use with modern German military as well, actually. I think the Bundeswehr used it. Which, I mean, if you're in any way familiar with the modern German government, they are starkly anti-Nazi. So I feel like if the German government feels like the Iron Cross is still not a hate symbol, then, you know, that shouldn't qualify. So I completely ruled that out. Same thing with this guy's uniform. There, it's hard to see. I'm not going to pull him out right now because it's a pain in the ass to stick him back in there. But he also has no swastikas on him that I'm aware of. There could be if I had painted them on, but I did not because I didn't feel like it. It's also way above my pay grade as far as painting goes. That was one of the first figures I painted, but that's beyond the point. So after a while, they had removed I don't know how many videos featuring this tank, and none of the videos featuring that tank, none of the other videos featuring any of my other tanks, none of my other videos except for I had one video featuring me shooting a firearm that got at first removed for child endangerment because they thought I was a minor, which I'm not. Even though I sometimes sound like a prepubescent frog, I promise you I'm not. I know that's going to be hard to argue with, given how I sound sometimes though. But anyways, I appealed that one and they reinstated it. They figured out, you know, hey, he's not a minor, because they looked at my other videos and probably figured out, oh, he's just sounding or looks stupid or something. But anyways, all the appeals that I submitted for any of the videos featuring this were immediately, I'm talking within like, okay, well first let me make this clear. I appealed them at like 3 a.m. I highly doubt that when I appealed these at 3 a.m., somebody almost immediately reviewed it and rejected it. Because I have a feeling it was automatically rejected, because every single time I appealed, it would immediately come back as, nope, this still violates. About like 5 to 10 to 15 minutes later, no later than 30. I don't believe I ever got a human in the beginning phases of this whole ordeal, which is something that really makes me mad. And I'll get more into the not being able to get a human part later. So, After a while of this, I just kind of gave up and accepted that they're just probably going to remove every single video featuring the king tiger I post. So I kind of stopped posting videos of it. What I should have probably done at that point was just delete all the videos that had been posted of it, but hindsight's 2020. Unfortunately, they did not stop by just deleting all the videos. Eventually, without ever have actually giving me a strike, mind you, because all of the things that they sent me, it just said warning, warning, warning. Even though, if you look at their rules, you should only get one warning within, I think, like a 90-day period before your next violation is a strike. So that was fishy to me. I didn't understand that. I still really don't. But eventually, I think it was sometime in late March of last year, 2025, my channel was then terminated in the middle of the night. I woke up and, of course, see the email. Can't, access my YouTube, so, I'm a little bit upset, as one would be. I think that's an understatement, a little bit. But I'm not going to try and get too emotional here because I'm kind of past that at this point. But the point is, the channel was terminated. I immediately put in an appeal, and it was also immediately rejected. Like, I'm talking within 5 to 10 minutes, maybe even less. Immediately rejected. There is no way that somebody reviewed my channel in that amount of time. So I am convinced that I once again got another robot. But that's okay, I guess. I don't really know what else to say about it. But, robots, it seems, took my channel out. As terrible as that, as much of a conspiracy theory as that sounds like, I'm pretty sure that's literally what happened. YouTube's automated systems that they implemented took my channel out, and along with many others. It was not just me. I want you to know this. There were many other channels. If you look up YouTube hate speech and scale models, you'll probably get a couple videos of people talking about it. And this was going on about 10 months to a year ago. I'm not sure when exactly it stopped. I think it's stopped now. I hope it's stopped. I pray that it's stopped. But a lot of other channels, lots of bigger channels too. I think one of the bigger ones was Panzer Insight. I never watched him, but I know a lot of people did. And that channel also got removed for hate speech whenever they were a channel that was about documenting World War II, and I think like talking about tanks and preserving history. They were just talking about the history and, the tanks and their specifications, I think. To my knowledge, they were pretty much just talking about tanks, And I think they specifically had an interest in World War II German tanks, but, that's besides the point. World War II German tanks are cool. I mean, I like World War II German tanks. I don't necessarily like what the World War II German army stood for, but I think they had some cool tanks, especially the Stug 3. I know the Tigers kind of sucked as far as logistics went and maintenance, but, I think they look cool. Anyways, but that's besides the point. So after my channel got terminated, I, of course, put the appeal in. It got denied. I'm not sure if, I forget this exactly. I either put in a second appeal and it also immediately got denied, or the second appeal is the one that I'm going to talk about now, which would be what I think might be the third appeal, which also got immediately rejected because you can only put in 2 appeals or something like that for a terminated channel. So at this point, I believe we have a bald eagle flying above. Maybe it's just a hawk, I'm not sure. But anyways, if I see him pop out, I'll point the camera up. Oh, I see vultures circling back there, but there's something else squeaking. Anyways, what was I talking about? Channel termination. Oh yeah, the third appeal that I put in, which maybe the second, but I think it was the third, because you could only put in 2. So at this point, I thought that my channel was a loss, because they said, see the last appeal results, your channel's terminated, buddy. So I'm thinking it's done. There went all, I think 300 subscribers. Yeah, 300 that I had accumulated over the last couple of years. So I just, that hurt me for quite a while. I didn't come back to YouTube, I think, for a month or two, maybe a couple weeks. I don't know how long, but it hurt. I looked for alternatives, I can't lie, to YouTube, but I eventually came back because YouTube's really all that I know. And that's how we got to this channel. So anyways, last night I put in an appeal, and this was at like 10 o'clock p.m., I think. Maybe 12 a.m., I'm not sure, somewhere around that time. Doesn't really matter too much. What the fuck was that? Just flew right over me. Anyways, dang, those birds are going crazy out there. I wonder what's going on. But we got a crap. I keep losing my train of thought about these dang birds. You can tell I do not have a script for this. Oh, I see that bird. That is not a hawk. That's just some mockingbird screaming at me, sounding like a hawk. That's funny. Okay. Anyways, if I can get back on track here. I put the appeal in sometime last night, and once again, I expected this was about to be automatically rejected because you can only put in so many appeals, to my knowledge. Somehow, though, this one went through. I didn't get an automatic rejection notice, and this one took maybe 30 minutes to an hour. So I think I actually got a human this time. I hope. Or maybe this would honestly even be better if YouTube's automated system has been improved to the point where it was able to see that no, in this context, this is not hate speech. Which, either one, I'm happy with. So honestly, thank you, YouTube. Even though I was very mad at you, I still kind of am a little bit. They did say sorry in an email. I mean, they did. I'm sure it was just an automated response, but still puts a tiny little band-aid on the wound. And then got my channel back last night, so I guess that's good. So here's what I think happened. And I know this is all just speculation, but it's got some supporting evidence that I think kind of makes sense in the eyes of like a robot or an AI. I'm trying to think, like, what would the robot or the automated system be thinking as it saw this? And I just don't see any of the actual video content, like that was in the actual recorded video, setting it off. Other than maybe the German tank playing into it and making them think, okay, let's investigate this a little bit further. But what I think honestly did it was the title. And I was hinting at this earlier when I mentioned King Tiger, which this is the Tiger 2 or the King Tiger. It goes by both names, and like I said earlier, King Tiger is the literal English translation of the German name that was given to this tank at the time. And I know that they've got crazy names. It's not the full name. It would sound stupid. Like the Stug 3G, that's something like Sturmgewürz, something. I cannot remember it, properly pronounce it. I'm sorry for any German people listening to me butcher their beautiful language. But the point is, all my videos that I had of this tank, I labeled them as Hang Long King Tiger or King Tiger. For example, King Tiger makes its way up a barren hillside, or King Tiger on the prowl, or Hang Long King Tiger crawls up a hillside, or something like that. Those are, pretty basic names because that's all I can really think of. I'm not good at titles, as you probably know. if you are somebody who watches my videos. I'm not sure if I really have that many people who return to watch my videos. I'm not gonna say that there aren't, but you know, I'm not a giant YouTuber, so honestly, I'm not even sure how many of y'all are gonna even be watching this far or have, you know, followed me over. Might not even be worth your time, which I don't really blame you. Hell, I wouldn't probably even notice if some of the smaller YouTubers that I followed disappeared for a while. It'd probably only be a while later that I'm like, huh, haven't seen one of his videos in a while. Where is he at? You know? I don't know. It's just... So I don't blame y'all, you know, if y'all haven't noticed. Not saying y'all haven't. If you have, thank you, of course. But anyways, that's also besides the point. What was I even trying to talk about? I think that all the video titles having King Tiger in it, you know, might have confused the automated system or the robot or the AI or whatever is reviewing it into thinking that the, like, tiger was superior and a king because it was German, I guess. Because, you know, like, a king is usually royal and top of the line elite. So I guess maybe the AI confused that for suggesting that Germans or World War II era Germans were superior, which is, in my opinion, not true. I don't believe that anybody is superior over another. I believe we're all just, you know, given unfair chances in life sometimes. But that's beyond the point. You know, the point is, that's what I think happened. I think me labeling it as King Tiger has possibly confused the AI, which maybe didn't confuse them now. I hope that they've updated that to remedy that issue, and I'm not really for sure, because I know that not all of the channels that were affected were using such naming systems or such terminology in all of their videos that had gotten removed. And I know that there were also many other channels that had videos removed that were not of a King Tiger. They were of other different, even some like World War II era German planes and other vehicles were getting removed. And anyways, I just get, I'm not really sure, to be honest. It's just kind of speculation. And there's the contrasting evidence, because I saw some people getting videos removed that were like of remote control German planes, like I mentioned before, a Bf-109 and I think an FW-190. I saw some videos of those that got removed. But anyways, you know, not really sure what else to say about it, to be honest. Like I said, I don't have a script, kind of just rambling off the top of my head, what comes to mind at the time. But I guess, you know, I guess what I should say now is, because I've kind of just gone over the story of what happened, and we're up to date now, so I guess I'll just say what my plans for the future are. And that would be, for this channel, I'm not going to get rid of it or anything. I'm going to keep uploading here something. I'm not really sure exactly what I'm going to do. I might, like, upload behind the scenes footage here. I'm not going to get rid of this channel, that's for sure. I'm going to keep it as a backup. But I'm probably not going to be posting here as actively as before, no matter what happens to this channel, because I'm going to be posting more actively on my old channel, which is larger and probably going to be a little bit slow to kickstart again, but I hope I'll see at least a couple of you over there. Once again, like I said in the beginning, I'll have a link in the description and in the comments. I'll pin it to the old channel that is now back up. And I'll start re-uploading the content that I had recorded during the time that channel was terminated over there, so that some of my older viewers, if any of those are still around. Not sure, I kept them waiting for a year. Might have lost a couple of them. I don't know, they might swing back around. It's hard to say. Might take them a while though, you know. Like I said earlier, it'd take me a minute to figure out if one of my smaller YouTubers I followed disappeared. And then especially if you search them up and can't find them, you know. Because I know my videos aren't on the top of the recommendation all the time. So it's a little bit, you know, iffy sometimes. But anyways, I'll start posting the content that I had recorded and posted on this channel over there in the meantime. And new content will be posted over there. I'll probably make a short directing people to this video and just briefly explaining, you know, that I've got the old channel back and most content's going to be posted over there. Hopefully wrangle a few more of you guys that want to follow me over there. But I'm not going to get rid of this channel. Not exactly sure what I'm going to do with it. I'm thinking I might turn it into like I'm not really sure, to be honest. That's something I'm gonna have to think about. I might make a future video explaining that, what my plans are. I've got a couple ideas. Like I could do more like tutorials and reviews on one channel, and then more just like kind of like what I've been doing, the videos of just no talking, just the toys or the RCs or the products doing what they do, depending on what you want to call them. I like to call them models. The RC models doing what they do. Makes me feel a little bit less like a baby when I'm out here playing with my toy tanks. But anyways, that might be what I do. I'm not sure. Or I might just do behind the scenes footage or like bloopers or something. I don't know if I've really got enough people watching me though to justify doing that. So for a while this channel might kind of be stagnant. I'll occasionally post some updates, you know, maybe directing people back over to the main channel, you know, posting updates saying new video updated on the main channel or something. I don't know, but you know, we'll see. But I'll definitely be posting future content on the old channel that I've recently regained. Once again, link to it in the description. You don't have to follow me there. Once again, no pressure. Just putting this out there for anybody who does want to. And I guess that's really it. I'm running out of things to ramble about. Probably gonna go outside. It's kind of hot out here. Even though it's early March, it's ridiculous. Yeah, the sun's going down there. It is actually kind of nice right now, but anyways, I'll see y'all in a future video. Hope to see y'all at the old channel that we will be resuming action on and mainly posting on. I guess, you know, for you guys it would be the new channel, but for me it's the old channel, even though it's been gone for a while. But if you know, you want to see more content about these tanks, I've got some posted there. Of course, I deleted quite a bit of well, I didn't delete, but YouTube deleted quite a bit of content that, you know, I'm not gonna bother with appealing at this point, just because I already got the channel back. I'm not gonna push my luck. I don't want the automated system to all of a sudden be like, oh, nope, never mind. So I also, speaking on the topic earlier, I meant to say this, gonna be naming all videos about the King Tiger 2 from now on, which is also correct. It's a Tiger 2, kind of like the Tiger 1, Tiger 2. So I hope that'll be a little bit less confusing for the automated system, because I think that might have played a role in it. Again, I'm not quite sure. I'll also be keeping this channel as a backup in case the main channel gets removed again. So, you know, maybe don't give up on this channel just yet. There are some plans for it in the future. It's not just going to be completely stagnant. Might take me a minute to figure out exactly what we're doing here, but, you know. Anyways, I'll catch y'all here later. Once again, hope to see y'all on the new channel. And hope y'all have a good rest of your weekend, spring break, or whatever y'all are up to. I'll catch y'all in the next video.